Hi guys, welcome to day 19 of the 21 Day Purpose Challenge. The final 3 days, the last module, you can do this. So I like to think of purpose as purpose work as kind of like a debutante ball, as it prepares you to be fully in partnership with somebody else, whether that's romantically or with a community project or at work or in a business. And so it has this kind of quickening effect. As you've experienced, you've been able to kind of see what's not you, what's you. You know, you've begun to kind of cultivate an honest sense of self-awareness. And this is what actually needs to be getting married. This is what needs to be creating businesses and relationships. So without this soul initiation, what ends up happening is when people enter into marriages, or when they enter into business partnerships, or when they enter into all sorts of engagements, what they're entering into is from the perspective of their voices, their looking good, their fear, their desire. It's not the organic place of soul. So I'd like you to think about this challenge as like your wedding boot camp, like the thing that is getting you in shape to take your purpose out in the world, to make connections, to allow you to authentically connect and create our world together. So yesterday you learned about, you created these learning outcomes for your project and the key actions of your purpose project. And today we're going to actually start to identify the people who we want to share this with. Because your purpose, your project will grow and evolve. You've done all the preparatory work thus far. So you've had all these purpose discovery experiences. You've unpacked the ego. You've seen the places where you get stuck in living your purpose. You're ready. You're ready to date. You're ready to move your project, move your life out into the world. So before we dive in today to the kind of building your team purpose, again, some important dates. This Saturday, last day of the challenge. The 28th is the last day to submit your post-challenge survey, to complete all the exercises, because they're coming down after that. The last day to get the early bird discount for the Psi Omega program, or to get the Psi Omega program for free if you join one of the advanced programs, like the P4 course to create a business based on your life's purpose, or the Delta Leadership program to actually become a published author and a thought leader that's driven by your purpose. So one of the things that's going to come up today, and definitely over the next few weeks, is you're going to be talking to people about the purpose challenge, because you're going to have this new this new sense of self, there's going to be something new about you. People are going to be like, what's going on? Why are you so excited all of a sudden? Why did you make this change? Why are you now at the gym every day? Why are you doing all these purpose-aligned activities? And so the opportunity could come up to talk about the challenge, like, oh yeah, I did this program and I got all this stuff from it, and here's what I'm doing. Now, what I would caution you against is actually telling them about every single exercise, because what they're listening is from their ego part's perspective. And if you knew everything that was going to be required of you to do this challenge, you probably wouldn't have done it, right? We didn't market it saying like, hey, by the way, this is going to be excruciatingly terrible and you're not going to like it, but it'll be so worthwhile and you'll be glad you did it. So we didn't market it that way. We said, well, if you do this, you'll be empowered to create the life you love, abundance, vitality, success, meaning, you can do all these things. So the analogy is like, nobody wants to hear about all the rooms on the ship. They only want to know about the destination. So tell them about the destination. Tell them what you got. Tell them like, oh wow, I saw that, I had all these limiting beliefs that kind of drove me to perfection, and therefore I wouldn't take any action, or that I judged myself and judged the world, and didn't have any hope. Now I have hope. I see that was just a voice. So you can tell it. I would encourage you to talk about what you got out of the challenge. Like, I got all this awesome stuff and it was totally free. But don't tell them about every single exercise. Don't tell them about like how it's excruciating and how there's pain and all that kind of stuff, because you want your friends to do it, right? I mean, you want them to have this free purpose awakening experience so they can have the life that they love. So if you want them to do it, just tell them what you got. Leave a little bit of mystery. Allow them to kind of be seduced by the outcome, and then to have them sign up for the next challenge. Because otherwise, if you tell them everything that's inside, if you show them how the sausage is made, they're not going to want to eat the sausage. You can direct them to the Science of Purpose. That's a great place to kind of see the outcomes. So scienceofpurpose.org, that has all the science of all the reasons why you should find your purpose. And yeah, I would just kind of keep it to your own experience. Like, here's what I got. Here's what I know. Here's what's not true. Here's what I'm excited about. Here's what I'm creating. Talk about that. Like, let the outcome speak for the course. I would not try to like take them in. So, as you've been noticing, this theme is to bring your purpose out into the world, right? And this highlights a kind of a key risk, actually, and opportunity is how important community is. So today you're going to build your team. But I want to share with you a story about how I learned this lesson the hard way. So I basically blew up a community, like to poison the water with my own toxicity. So I attended this amazing course at Columbia, the Creativity and Personal Mastery course, and that was when I first switched on and started doing my inner work and going to India and studying philosophy and working with purpose-driven enterprises and all that kind of stuff. So it was an amazing program. And so we have this forum, this kind of community forum that allows us to like stay connected after the course. This alumni forum. And it was kind of like anything goes. You could say whatever you want, and if you didn't see something you like, or if you saw something you didn't like, you could say, hey, I think this is stupid. Or so there wasn't like a clear set of rules for how you interact. It was just like, if you're a graduate of the course, you can go on and say anything you want. So, as you can imagine, people are, not always happy. And I was one of those people. Like, I would see some of my classmates talk about, their purpose or their ideal job in ways that to me seemed like incredibly inauthentic. Like, I'm like, oh, there's no way that could be an ideal job. Like somebody who, got on the right desk for Goldman Sachs, and of course it may be, but I mean, it was in my own head at the time. Or like who launched like a conscious fragrance company, and I would judge them and like, what are you talking about? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Do you know what year it is? I was a real jerk, and I would just go in there and just like vomit my judgments all over people and fight, and because I like to fight, or at least I did like to fight, and it kind of destroyed the community. People stopped posting, and it was my fault. I was not supportive. I was not honoring of the container. I was not a leader in being compassionate and helping people see a larger reality. I just attacked. I said, "Oh God, that stinks. That stinks. That stinks." And so I had no intention. I was not being a leader, and just kind of over the course of a couple of years, the community basically wound down, and it was my fault. And I've since had to leave the community, meaning I was asked, and I willfully pulled out because I was like, oh, yeah, I did that. So still something I feel some shame about, but I'm happy that, that community is healing. And but that really made it present for me, like how important it is to be in a supportive community. You don't want to be with a jerk like me from 5 years ago who's judgmental and all that kind of stuff. You want to have someone in your community who's supporting your purpose, who sees you, who sees the vision, the change you're committed to making in the world, who loves you for you. And try not to learn that lesson the hard way like I did. So before we jump in, I want to share with you a quote from E.M. Forster. Live in fragments no longer, only connect. And the beast and the monk, robbed of the isolation that is life to either, will die. So Forster's talking about that our task here as humans, a big piece of our purpose, is that we need to connect with and express the unity, be supportive, like step into this place of wholeness, of compassionate leadership, that every human is whole and complete, and that every way that we cooperate is whole and complete, and it can be better. Almost everything, every whole that exists in our reality, whether it's a partnership, a family, a company, a species, even a planet, every whole is perfect as it is, and it can be better. We can evolve it to be a greater expression of reality. So we've talked about this a number of times, but unity is the fundamental condition of the cosmos. And when we express that in what we do, as Forster says, the beast and the monk, so the anger piece and the isolation piece, when we express that unity, the beast and the monk die. And it's not to say that there's not a time and a place for conscious warrior energy, for saying no to injustice, for speaking truth to power, to taking a firm stand, to setting boundaries, and not that there's not a place for a monk to to meditate, to transcend, and to teach, and all that stuff is there. But those archetypes as totalities need to die, because they're not whole and complete. Not everybody is all beast. Not everybody is all monk. We've got the full complex experience of our life, all the different emotions, all the different ways of being, as nurturers, as leaders, as warriors, as magicians, as lovers, as sovereigns. So these distinctions are important because it is our task to only connect, to recognize that within the whole are all these different pieces of us, the masculine, the feminine, the lover, the warrior, the magician, the king and queen. And our task as purpose-driven people, as people who are now creating purpose projects out in the world, is to create narratives that connect, create stories that bind us together, so we share our why, our vision, and how it includes other people. And we get into other people's worlds and see what's important to them and how we can serve them. So only connecting, only forming this common bond. So I really encourage you, long after this program is over, continue to make a study of unity itself. Whether it's religion or physics or big history or economics, politics, ecology. Really put yourself in a place cognitively where deep down we are all one. So that you have this kind of deep foundation that's going to inform your actions in your purpose project, where you can be a stand for unity and connection. Create ways to connect yourself to other people through your life's purpose. Keep at it. We'll see you tomorrow.